Have you ever woken up feeling like you're on autopilot? That heavy weight in your chest when you realize you're simply reacting to life instead of directing it? Most men spend years, even decades, trapped in this survival mode, thinking they're in control, when in reality they're governed by unseen fears, weak mental habits, and an endless need for approval. The harsh truth is they often notice it too late. After opportunities have slipped away, relationships have suffered, and their potential has been buried under excuses and self-deception. Have you experienced this? That moment when you finally see the truth, you've been your own greatest obstacle. But here's what most people don't tell you. That painful realization is the very first step toward genuine transformation. Today, you're not going to hear another empty motivational speech filled with flattering phrases that change nothing. Instead, you're going to learn principles forged through silence, discipline, and a profound understanding of the human mind. These principles come from a man who never lost a duel in his life, Miyamoto Musashi. But his true battle wasn't fought against men with swords. It was fought against his own mind, against inner chaos, against the temptation to give in to weakness when life demanded strength. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to learn isn't a 5-minute motivational boost. It's a mental code that transforms you from the inside out. Musashi didn't write pretty theories. He lived every word he recorded. He spent years in solitude, isolated in the mountains, confronting the silence where there was no one to impress, no one to validate his choices, just himself and the unfiltered truth. In that isolation, Musashi discovered something few men ever reach: absolute mental clarity. What you're about to learn may surprise you, even unsettle you, because it exposes patterns you've carried for years without questioning. But that discomfort is exactly what separates ordinary men from those forged in discipline and purpose. Musashi recognized that the real enemy isn't external circumstances. It's the undisciplined mind. It's not a tough boss, an unstable economy, or lack of opportunity. It's the mental weakness you feed daily with distractions, victim mentality, and lack of focus. So prepare yourself. What comes next isn't for those who want to feel comfortable. It's for those ready to confront reality and rebuild their mindset from the ground up. Before we go deeper into Musashi's teachings, I need to ask you one thing and be honest with yourself. What mental weakness has kept you from reaching the next level in life? Is it fear of judgment? Procrastination disguised as planning? Constantly seeking approval? Or that inner voice that always finds excuses to avoid action? Leave your answer in the comments. Every time you share your response, you're not just answering a question. You're committing publicly to your growth and joining a community focused on forging stronger, more disciplined, and self-aware men. Comment now. And if you've made it this far and haven't liked this video, do it now. A like signals YouTube that this content has value, helping it reach more people who need it. Takes 5 seconds and can make a real difference. Before we continue, check one thing. Are you already part of this path? If not, subscribe now. The upcoming videos are part of a structured series to build discipline, sharpen your mindset, and prepare you to enter 2026 at a higher level. This isn't random content. It's a step-by-step system, and your participation strengthens this community of men choosing to rise above mediocrity. Now, let's dive into Musashi's principles. Lesson 1. Stop negotiating with your weakness. Musashi left a lesson every man seeking excellence should engrave in his mind. You can have countless weapons, but if you don't master yourself, they're useless. Most men believe the problem is external: the unfair boss, the economy, the lack of opportunities. The truth is harsher. The real battlefield is internal. Absolute self-mastery is the foundation of transformation. Musashi didn't argue with fear, negotiate with laziness, or wait for the perfect moment. He acted even when every part of him wanted to retreat. Now reflect. How often this week have you negotiated with your own weakness? How often have you said, "I'll start tomorrow," or "when I have more time, I'll do it"? These small compromises silently kill potential. The strong man decides once and executes without debate. No internal argument. No voice of mediocrity influencing him. Decision made. Now, period. Musashi lived this principle in extreme form. When he chose to isolate himself in the mountains, he didn't wait for ideal conditions, money, or emotional readiness. He eliminated internal negotiation and went. In that void, away from distraction, he forged the unshakable discipline that made him unbeatable. Here's a practical step. Remove small daily decisions from your routine. Every time you debate whether to train, study, or work on a project, you waste mental energy and allow weakness to negotiate. Define your schedule now. Wake up at a set time, train at a set time, work at a set time. Single decision. Automatic execution. Discipline isn't motivation, it's internal order, the invisible structure that supports a strong man even when everything else collapses. Musashi said, "The warrior who waits for inspiration has already lost the battle." When you stop negotiating with weakness, something profound happens. You regain self-respect. Real self-respect, earned through consistent action, not empty affirmations, transforms an average man into someone unbeatable. Comment: I decide once, I execute always. Before moving to the next lesson, I want to share a resource. If this is making sense to you, I prepared complimentary material called The Path of Japanese Discipline. It shows how to transform your mind into a disciplined, focused, and unshakable system capable of acting every day, even when motivation fails, fatigue weighs, or no one is watching. This method teaches how to eliminate procrastination, master unstable emotions, and develop the silent consistency that produces real winners. Over 1 million copies are already in use worldwide. The link is in the description, but act fast. This material may be removed at any time. Lesson 2. Emotion is noise, clarity is power. Musashi mastered calm in battle, while opponents acted under adrenaline, ego, and chaos. He didn't win because of physical strength or secret techniques. He won through clarity. Musashi wrote in the Book of Five Rings, "Perception is strong, vision is weak. Emotional agitation limits vision. Impulse leads to costly mistakes. Mental clarity allows you to perceive deeper, anticipate movements, and act strategically." Apply this today. Breathe before reacting. Simple but effective. When provoked, when news destabilizes you, when impulse tempts you, pause. Take 3 deep breaths, then decide. Never make major decisions at the peak of emotion. Musashi said, "Think lightly of yourself, deeply of the world. Detach ego, avoid personalizing everything, and gain mental clarity unavailable to reactive minds." Lesson 3. Train in silence, evolve in the shadows. Musashi spent years alone, without applause, validation, or recognition. When he finally faced challenges, his strength was inevitable. Real growth happens in silence, not in posts announcing plans, not in motivational captions, not in premature declarations. Musashi wrote, "Don't think about beating the other. Think about becoming unbeatable." Notice the difference. One seeks attention, the other seeks transformation. How many times have you announced a goal only to abandon it? The weak man seeks external validation before believing in himself. The strong man builds in silence, trains when no one is watching, improves without applause, and persists without recognition. Announcing goals gives a false dopamine reward, creating the illusion of progress without actual work. That's why many quit gyms, projects, or new ventures before any meaningful result. Here's a practical application that will change your approach immediately. Stop posting your goals. Don't announce your training or your projects. Work in silence. Train consistently for months before sharing results. Build a business quietly until you have something concrete to present. Even better, live the transformation and let people notice it naturally through your presence, energy, and competence. Musashi didn't give interviews or talk about his next achievement. He simply acted with mastery. Real strength grows in silence, away from the spotlight, opinions, and the need for constant approval. When you stop seeking external validation, you develop genuine internal validation. Comment: silence builds. Ego destroys. Lesson 4. Accept discomfort as a path. Musashi practiced GA, absolute mental resistance. He deliberately trained in harsh conditions, cold, hunger, exhaustion, isolation. Not because he enjoyed suffering, but because comfort creates fragility, while discomfort builds structure. He wanted to perform at his best under any circumstance. His teaching, accept everything as it is, not passive conformism, but using conditions as fuel to strengthen yourself. Look at modern life. People collapse if Wi-Fi drops, coffee isn't perfect, or someone disagrees online. Waiting for ideal conditions means you've already lost. Real life tests you in moments of discomfort. If you haven't trained to endure pressure, fatigue, fear, and uncertainty, you'll break when challenges arrive. You've been domesticated by comfort, air conditioning, delivery, entertainment, social media validation. Musashi knew a warrior depending on comfort is a hostage to circumstance. Immediate practice. Choose discomfort intentionally. Take cold showers, train when tired, wake up on time, sit in silence, work without motivation. Every time you choose difficulty over comfort, you build mental resistance few possess. Life respects those who endure. Comment. Discomfort is the price of strength. Lesson 5. Focus on one thing until mastery. Musashi spent decades perfecting the sword. He didn't experiment with multiple techniques simultaneously. He concentrated on deep mastery, not superficial knowledge. He wrote, "Know the way of all things from one. Mastery of one discipline reveals universal principles." Today, people spread their attention across too many projects, learning multiple skills at once, creating generalized mediocrity. How many of your goals have stagnated? Multiple priorities dilute focus and reduce impact. Musashi concentrated on the sword first, then expanded naturally once mastery was established. Practical application. Pick one main project per life phase. Dedicate your best energy, time, and attention to it. Eliminate distractions mercilessly. Courses, opportunities, social media that pull you away from your primary goal. Say no. Focus isn't what you accept, it's what you refuse. Comment. Fewer goals, more mastery. Lesson 6. Prepare as if the battle is today. Musashi lived each day with total presence, as if the most important challenge could occur at any moment. He wrote, "Today is victory over yourself of yesterday. Tomorrow is victory over lesser men." He competed with himself, not others, ensuring readiness when opportunity arrived. Most men live in waiting mode, waiting for Monday, the new year, or perfect conditions. When real opportunity or crisis hits, they panic. Life isn't built on extraordinary days, but on ordinary days repeated with discipline and preparation. Practical application. Treat every day as important. Wake up consistently, train with the same intensity regardless of audience, work on goals with equal effort on motivated and boring days. Strong routines build a strong mind. Comment. I'm ready today, not tomorrow. Lesson 7. Live as someone who has accepted death. Musashi entered combat detached, as if he had already faced his own death. This made him unstoppable. He wrote, "Think lightly of life and heavily of death. Not morbidly, but liberating. Accepting impermanence removes fear and allows action with courage." Most men fear loss. Jobs, relationships, approval, money, comfort. Fear paralyzes. How many decisions have you avoided due to fear of loss? Musashi accepted everything is temporary, gaining freedom from fear and social pressure. Practical application. Stop living to please others. Make decisions aligned with your true values, even if it costs approval or comfort. Comment. Free from fear. Ready to live. Moral lesson. The code of the modern samurai. Musashi's mental strength came from disciplined action, not motivation or theory. Motivation fades, but internal codes guide decisions when no one is watching, when tired, tempted, or unmotivated. His Bushido, courage, honor, loyalty, discipline, respect, was absolute, not conditional. Discipline was who he was. Look at your life honestly. What is your code? Are your principles internal and consistent, or do they shift with convenience and social pressure? Defining a personal code creates genuine identity, based on repeated actions, not titles or possessions. Musashi said, You can have many techniques, but without character, they are empty. Here's the challenge. After this video, what will be your code? What principles will guide you absolutely? Comment, "My code, my law." If you've watched this far, you've shown hunger for transformation, not superficial entertainment. Subscribe for more videos that deliver real, applicable principles. Leave a comment. I have a code to publicly commit to this journey. Like the video to help this knowledge reach others. If you want, support the work via the Ko-fi link, and check the pinned comment for a structured ebook covering all the principles practically. There's also a video next to this one that complements these lessons and goes deeper into Japanese discipline. Click and continue the journey. It's just beginning.